Yo, boys, what's up? And welcome back. We've got our week 7 brief review and our week 8 preview here. I'm joined by Brett.
Hello.
We are a duo show today. No Jared, dealing with some personal stuff, so keep Jared in your mind. But there was some NFL news coming out this week, Brett.
Yeah, we'll start off with the buys. So another crazy kind of apocalypse. 6 teams on buy this week. We have the Seahawks, Cardinals, Raiders, Jaguars, Rams, and Lions. A lot of pretty good teams. So there's going to be a lot of you know fantasy relevant people sitting.
Wide
A lot
receiver
of
1 and
maybe
2.
yeah top tier wide receivers. Probably a lot of one QB getting played in two QB leagues, things like that. And we'll get into the injuries later. So if your waivers haven't went through yet, make sure you get into it. After the buys, the other thing of in the news that's kind of football related is Justin Fields. He was benched. Tyrod Taylor is supposed to be playing. Taylor is kind of dealing with a knee injury supposedly, but he was practicing this week. They keep Some reports are saying that the decision hasn't been made, but I keep hearing that I think the coach has already made the decision and might be keeping it quiet. Uh, but yeah, I mean Fields, the Jets do not look good this year. I don't know if it's Fields' fault, but at some point you got to change the narrative somehow.
Yeah. This hurts my soul, but
That's your guy, Dale.
he has not been playing good football, so can't really blame him there. Anyway,
Yep.
we don't have Jared this week, but I am not a licensed medical professional, and I have our injuries for this week. So lengthy list here. I think this is our biggest one yet of the season. So we've got Nico Collins. He had a concussion on Monday night, so extremely doubtful that he gets through a concussion protocol in time. Jaden Daniels still dealing with that hamstring strain. He's out. Bucky Irving and Chris Godwin, they're both still dealing with their injuries. They are both out. Lamar Jackson is still dealing with his hamstring injury. He's was limited in practice today, Wednesday, but likely to play from what I see. Aaron Jones was activated off the injured reserve, so he's back at practice, and they now have 21 days to activate him. He's questionable for Thursday night. Um, Bryce Young had a high ankle sprain. He's out this week, so Andy Dalton will be stepping in for the Panthers. We've got Michael Penix, head, shoulders, knees, and toes, day to day. Not actually head, shoulders, knees, and toes. He's dealing with a bone bruise in his tibia, but also listed as a foot slash, or sorry, he was listed as a foot slash ankle by the coach, and the team listed him with a knee injury. So that's what the joke was there. Carson Wentz is still dealing with his left shoulder injury, non-throwing shoulder, so he's likely to play Thursday night through that injury, like he has been. Brees Hall, ankle injury, he's likely to play this week. What running back isn't dealing with injuries? Speaking of running backs and ankles, Kareem Hunt, ankle injury, likely to play this week. We got Brian Thomas Jr. This one was scary looking in the London game against the Rams. At the end of it, he could not grip anything. At the end of the game, he couldn't move his shoulder. Like he looked like he was in excruciating pain. Chris Olave dealing with some sort of leg injury. I think it's an ankle. He's expected to play this week, but he did miss Wednesday's practice. Darren Waller, I believe it was a partial tear of his pec muscle. The Dolphins placed him on IR today, so he will be out for at least 4 games. And probably the most brutal injury, I'll save this one for last. Mike Evans broke his clavicle and got a concussion on the same play, which was nasty because he came into this game with a hamstring injury. So, joke about head, shoulders, knees, and toes. I mean, Mike Evans is right there too. He is out for the season. So the 1,000-yard streak for Mike Evans is officially going to come to an end. Unfortunate that it happened due to injury, but
You think he's done for the year, forever?
I think he'll be back to playing football, but I don't think he'll be the same. He won't be the same wide receiver next year as he has been.
Mm.
He's getting to that age cliff kind of thing. But
They have so many young receivers though.
they
That's
do.
my only thing.
They got a Emeka big boo.
Big
So
Big Boo.
all right, but we do have football games to talk about. So
Yes.
without further ado, we're Thursday night. We got the Vikings going to the Chargers. The Vikings come in as 2.5 point road underdogs, so the Chargers are favored to win by 2.5. I personally had the Vikings pulling off this upset, largely because of what's going on with the Chargers' offensive line, and also, um, I just think the Vikings are kind of an underrated team right now. They're kind of hit and miss, but I think they'll find their stride. I have the Vikings taking out the Chargers.
Yeah. I mean I agree with you, and I think I've been on the Vikings side pretty often throughout this year saying that they have the weapons, but it is like a hit or miss. Like, does Wentz play good? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because you have JJ. Like, come on, just get him the ball.
Which
I have the
JJ?
Chargers though.
What?
Jetta. Yeah,
Oh,
which
that's
JJ?
JJ.
Yeah, but I have the Chargers. I just think that it's hard to bet on a hit or miss team. Chargers are, I guess, kind of a hit or miss as well, but I don't know. I still think that uh, Madison Beer has an influence um, on this team, so that's my pick.
All right, fair enough. Well, we got the Dolphins, who are 7.5 point road dogs going into Atlanta, traveling north to take on the Falcons. Um, Even I think if Penix doesn't play this week, it's Kirk Cousins. I have just as much confidence in him at this stage of his career, and as I do in Penix to keep the offense going. And the Falcons' defense, no one's talking about it, but they've been really good this season, and I don't see much confidence in the Dolphins team after what they did in Cleveland last week, or more so what I should say what they didn't do in Cleveland last week, which was score points. Um, so I'm taking the Falcons.
When do you think Ewers steps in?
Midway through the second quarter.
Midway through the second, okay.
Not
After
actually.
Tua's third pick
Probably
and
probably at
second fumble.
halftime. Probably at halftime after Tua turns the ball over a couple times.
Yeah. Oh man. Yep, I agree. I think the Falcons win this regardless of Penix or Kirko. I think they have. I'm more on the Falcons side if Kirko plays, honestly, but
That's crazy.
I think either way they'll take that one. The next game we have the Bears and Ravens. So this is an interesting one. We kind of talked about this before we started the show on whether Lamar is playing or not, since he's kind of been out for the last 3 weeks. Um,
Yep.
we both originally were going to go with the Bears until honestly they're 1-6. The Ravens are 1-6.
Yeah.
I don't think you can afford to just be like, eh, you can
Yeah.
sit out another week, Lamar. You need to suck it up. Like, if we want a chance this year, we paid you all this money. Get out there. So I have the Ravens winning this week, just because I'm pretty sure they're gonna have to play him, and he's just gonna have to suck it up and get out there.
Yeah, well, they probably will play him, but that defense is horrible and injured. And the Bears have looked
True.
like a decent football team, and I'm just gonna, I'll take the 6.5 point road dogs for the upset in Baltimore in this matchup.
Yeah. I will. I will correct myself. They're 1-5, but the idea of going to one
Well,
and
I think
six
I think I
is
think they
daunting.
lost. I actually think you were right. They are 1-6. I heard reports that they lost to the bye week. So
Oh, maybe. I would take it as an AFC Norther. I would love that, but
I also hope the
um,
Browns lose to their bye week.
next game, Bills and Panthers. We both have the Bills for this one. I think it's. I don't want to say it's pretty obvious because the Bills did lose to the Patriots the other week, and that one should have been a blowout
Yeah,
too.
true.
But Yeah, I don't know. I don't think the Bills take anyone lightly from here on out after getting kind of punched in the mouth by the Patriots.
Yeah, in that one, the Bills were 7.5 point favorites at home and lost. This time they're 7.5 point favorites on the road. I do want to
Mhm.
ask though, would you be more confident in the Panthers if it was Andy Dalton starting or Bryce Young?
Yes. No.
Well,
So
it is Andy
that's the
Dalton, so you're
caveat.
still picking the Bills.
Well, that's what I was gonna say is that with Andy Dalton coming in, I feel like their offense powers up a little bit. Like Bryce Young's great in garbage time, but that's about it. And if he's performing good in garbage time, that means they're down by 30. So if we get the red rifle in there, I think it's more of a chance that the Bills uh, could be trying to run away from it or whatever. But um, I still have the Bills winning this. I think Josh Allen's not gonna. I
Yeah,
think he'll just do it himself if he has to.
that's fair. I agree. Next, we've got the New York Jets going to the Cincinnati Bengals to take on the. Wow, yeah, they're going to the Cincinnati Bengals. The Jets are 4.5 point road dogs. And Tyrod Taylor's taking over as starting QB, as we mentioned earlier. Probably, it's a high possibility. Um, I think the Bengals are winning this game. There's a lot of bad vibes around the Jets right now. I think the only way they don't fire Aaron Glenn this season is if they go on a run with Tyrod Taylor, and I don't think that's likely. And we'll get into more of that later. But
Only 0-17 left. Winless team.
it would be funny if the Bengals gave them their first win.
I would love that. Again, as a AFC Norther, love
Yeah.
that.
Oh yeah. All right.
Next
Next.
game,
Yep.
49ers at the Texans. This is predicted to be a pretty close game with the Texans favored by -1.5. Um, I
They
I
should. They
think I
should
would
not be
repeat this
favored.
every week. Oh, maybe the doc's wrong then.
No, the doc is right. Like that is correct. I
Oh,
betted this, but I personally don't know how the Texans are favored.
wow. It actually goes against the pick'em being
Yeah.
the 49ers at 87%. Yeah, I mean, they're saying it's going to be a close game, and I harp on it every week. I think that Stroud is not good, um,
Well,
and I don't think it's necessarily him. I think it's just the offensive line.
thank you.
Um,
And no
yeah,
Nico
I'll
this
take
week.
no Nico this week. So what they have? What Hutchinson
Yeah,
and
Xavier Hutchinson, Jaden Higgins, Christian Kirk, Jalen Noel. I mean,
wow, what a group!
it's a veteran, and then it's a bunch of younger guys that haven't done a lot in the NFL. So, I mean,
Yeah, yeah. And
but
the 49ers have proven that all you need is CMC to win games.
this has kind of happened before in Texans games. Like it just seems like Vegas really likes the Texans defense. I mean, the Seahawks were only 3.5 point favorites at home last week against the Texans, and I think that line should have been more like 6.5. Um, but anyway, that's just kind of thought process there. But we do both have the Niners, and these next two games are two of my favorite teams to talk about. I am a Browns fan, but I don't like watching Browns football. Football I do like watching is Drake freaking May. Good news, I get to do both this week. And one of two things is going to happen. Either the Browns defense, which I actually think matches up very well against this Patriots offense, is going to lock down the Patriots, and the Browns are going to win a game that they have no business winning in Gillette. Um, Browns are 7.5 point favorites in New England, by the way, because I didn't say that already. Either that's going to happen, or Drake May is just going to carve up this Browns defense, and I'm happy on both fronts. Where I have Drake May, love Drake May, and I want the Browns to have a better 2026 per se. But I do have the Patriots winning this game. I think it's probably going to be somewhere in the middle, but I do think the Patriots have a better roster than the Browns.
No, I agree with you. Like you said, Browns defense, when they show up, they show up. When they don't show up, they don't show up. So it's really going to be that contributing factor.
And
But I, again, too, have the Patriots.
yeah, I did briefly say that. The Browns defense does match up really well in the secondary, especially. Like, Drake May just has a bunch of guys he throws to, and I think the Browns secondary is extremely good at that. The Browns secondary usually struggles when there's one elite player that you can get opposite Denzel Ward. Like, the Steelers did it with DK Metcalf. They just kept getting him lined up on Tyson Campbell, and they were just picking on Tyson Campbell all game against the Browns, and that's how the Steelers moved the ball. But I don't think the Patriots have that guy. Diggs and Booty, they don't scare me. But you know who does scare me? It's Cam Scatterbo and Jackson Dart. And this next game, it's all about them. Now, the Giants are also 7.5-point road dogs going into Philadelphia. A couple weeks ago when these two teams played, we said the Eagles were going to win. The Giants would keep it close. The Giants ended up blowing the Eagles out in New York. And that was kind of like the Jackson Dart breakout game where everyone was like, oh, this dude's for real. And I love that because I love Dart. Love me some Jackson Dart. But Cam Scatterbo also has been really good. I'm doing more of the same. I have the Eagles also winning this game. The Giants will probably lose by less than 7.5, but I think the Eagles do win this game.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see the Eagles lose, but maybe this is like a playing devil's advocate or playing the other side, hoping that they lose. Speaking it into existence.
Just like we did last time.
But again, the Eagles, at some point, people are gonna have to say that, oh, maybe they can do it. I mean, they are winning, not like they're losing. When they're doing it multiple different ways, Barkley hasn't been a factor this year, so.
I can't wait for the Giants to have Dexter Lawrence laying on the turf to stop the tush push.
That would be so cool. Yeah, exactly. Next game, we have the Bucks and Saints down in New Orleans. Baker coming off a terrible game, absolutely terrible game. I think they're gonna try to make this kind of a revenge payback game, and kind of just take it to the Saints where they don't stand a chance.
Dang. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm expecting a bunch of points this week for the Bucks for sure. Next game, Cowboys Broncos. We both have the Cowboys. It'll be out in Denver. Denver's favored by 2.5. I think the Cowboys really have now assembled their Exodia on their offense. Now that that's a Yu-Gi-Oh reference if you never played Yu-Gi-Oh.
I was lost.
They've assembled their pieces on offense. You have Lamb and Pickens, even Rico Dowdle pairing up defenses. Is Dowdle?
Devontae Williams.
Devontae Williams, that's it. Yeah, they had Dowdle.
Dowdle is tearing up defenses, but he's on the Panthers.
He is on the Panthers, yeah. But yeah, I think last week was a big showing of what the Cowboys can do when their offense is clicking. And honestly, the Broncos defense is not what coming into the season it was supposed to be. Giving up a lot of points to teams that they shouldn't be. I just think the Cowboys take out the Broncos this week.
Yeah, I agree. And mine is more so to do with the disappointment in the Broncos offense. And seeing that the Cowboys defense is prone to force a few turnovers. I mean, that's kind of their thing. If they can get 1 or 2 turnovers in this game, I feel like that'll be enough for that offense to click. Now, the Broncos' last quarter of football was insane. They did score 33 in one quarter, but that was unsustainable, and that was against the Giants team that couldn't put their cleats on right in the fourth quarter. Crazy.
I did not to play.
Yeah, that was insane. What a choke. I'm mad about that because Jared and I had both predicted the Giants to pull off that upset, and it looked so good. We were all over it, and I'm very annoyed that the Broncos won that game because of that. But anyway, moving on, we've got the Titans, going on the road to the Indianapolis Colts. This is the highest point spread of the season so far. The highest previously was the Chiefs Raiders game last week, which was 12.5. The Colts are favored by 14.5.
99% to win is crazy.
Yeah, this is wild. This is exactly the kind of game that the Titans will come out and win. Like
True.
it just feels like it's so lopsided. This is just gonna be one of those huge upset games you talk about for years. Um, no, I'm not gonna predict that. It is just a funny thought exercise. I do have the Colts winning this game.
I think even if they like sat Daniel Jones and put Richardson in, I think they would still win this game.
Well, they won't be putting Richardson in because he can't see, but they might be able to
With
beat them
Richardson
with.
with one eye
Yeah,
would still
Richard.
beat this team. They'd be 75% to win the game.
They could beat the Titans if they had Will Levis. Like,
Yeah, there you
anyway,
go. Oh man. Yeah, next game. So this is kind of a crazy game.
fun.
This is gonna be Packers Steelers. Packers are predicted to be 3.5 point winners in this game, but again, it's in Pittsburgh. It's against Aaron Rodgers, so this is kind of his not necessarily his homecoming because he's not going to Green Bay, but they coming to us. I'm interested to see this game. I think the Packers have really
How
struggled.
interested? Like, interested enough to
But
go?
no, no,
Ah,
we got a birthday
Sunday
party
night.
this weekend.
It's a Sunday night game
Yeah,
in Pittsburgh. That's a beautiful time to go see a football game.
it's gonna be cold. It's gonna be a cold night. It's gonna be Steelers football.
You know what's gonna be even colder? Is Jordan Love coming in here and teaching his mentor a lesson?
Maybe. Yeah. I had the Steelers, obviously. It's kind of a homer pick too.
Yeah.
But again, I think the Packers have kind of struggled um, as far as like what they came out doing.
Yeah.
They look like they were going to be one of the top teams going throughout the whole year, but they've kind of, I mean, they lost the Browns, which is pretty sad. Um, so
The Browns
hopefully we
broke
can
them.
take that one. Yeah, maybe.
By the way, the Browns Packers game, I feel like the Packers offense is very similarly structured to the Patriots. And that's
Mm.
like where they just have a bunch of guys. And anyway, your big concern as a Steelers fan this season has been your complaint about the tight end. The Steelers don't
Yeah.
guard the tight end. So how do you feel that one of the best yard after catch tight ends is walking into Pittsburgh this week in Tucker Craft?
Well, wouldn't you know, too? Anytime in a fantasy league where I face a tight end, they go crazy. And of course, I face a Tucker Craft this week. So
Ooh.
I should have actually predicted him to have 2 touchdowns and like
You,
150.
well, you might have. You might have.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah, but
anyway, Monday night.
Monday night game. So we only have one this week, finally.
Hey!
That 10 o'clock one was terrible for us East Coasters.
I had off work the next day and I still fell asleep at halftime. Like that's how hard it is to stay awake for those games.
Such a late game. Yeah, but Monday night we have the Commanders and Chiefs. Chiefs are favored by 9.5. Jaden Daniels ruled out this week, so now you got Marcus Mariota going into Arrowhead. Chiefs have been crazy
Dominant.
the last few weeks. They got Rashee Rice now back, and he was taking most of the targets last week. Again, like I said with the Dallas offense, the Chiefs are now kind of fully stocked at their Exodia
Yeah.
offense, so we both have the Chiefs winning this game for sure.
Although on the Chiefs side, they are missing their rookie offensive tackle that has been a huge part of their team. Um, he's dealing with some personal issues. It's kind of grim. Like no one really knows what's going on. Grim is not the right word, but no one really knows what's going on with Josh Simmons. So whatever that is, that's kind of brutal. But we do have some hot takes to look at from last week. And since we didn't do it before the show, we're gonna do it right now. We're gonna go kind of out of order. But the week 7 pick'ems record, I went 10-5. Brett went 9-6. Jared went 8-7. Jared and I missed on Dolphins, Giants, Cardinals. Brett and I missed on Steelers, and Jared and Brett missed on Jaguars, Commanders, and then there were
Vikings too.
a couple other misses. Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, but still pretty close for all of us.
Yeah,
Not too
and
far off.
Since Jared's not here, we'll do his week 7 hot take first, and maybe the most disappointing, maybe the second. I don't know. Yours and Jared's were both kind of bad last week, Brett. But Nico Collins, Jared predicted him to go 165 and 2 touchdowns. He ended up with 4 catches for 27 yards and a concussion. So, don't know if that counts in the stats. It was in the 4th quarter, so not really a factor.
I mean, I count that as worse than mine because my guy didn't get injured.
That's true, but he did get someone else injured, so it might balance out.
Destroy his best guy.
Whoa. Second best guy.
That's a crazy streak.
Emeka Egbegbue is better.
Egbegbue is his new guy. Baker Mayfield, I had him predicting. I predicted him having 5 touchdowns last week to keep up with that Lions offense. That the Lions offense went and popped off. And so Baker needed to pop off. But he didn't. He ended up with 1 touchdown.
I wouldn't call 24 points against the Bucks popping off, though.
I think if the Bucks stayed with them, they would have. I think the game plan changed as the Bucks didn't. Because, I mean, they scored real quick. I think they were up 14-0 in, like, no time.
Yeah, it was. And they also had a turnover in there. They were up 14-0, and they had a red zone turnover. Because Goff fumbled. But, anyway. Yeah. I'm not calling this a hit by any means, but I don't think this was a bad prediction by me for a hot take. I did predict Rashee Rice to go 175 and 2 touchdowns in his first game back. The yardage was a little off. He only had 42 yards. He was close. But he scored twice in the first half. And they beat the Raiders 31-0. We talked about it on last week's show. My gut reaction to that spread being 12.5 was, whoa, that's a big spread. And then by the end of talking about games, I went, yeah, they're going to easily cover that. And it was nowhere near high enough. So I hope for better results this week out of us. But Brett, are you more confident in yours this week?
So I went and picked a tight end this week, and it's not Tucker Kraft from the Packers.
Switch the names. But just switch the name right now.
No. I can't, because I hope he doesn't do that. Right. I have Kyle Pitts this week going 125 with 2 touchdowns. It seems like watching that last game for the Falcons, it seemed like Pitts is like a pretty important target to Penix. He's getting a lot more touches than he has in past years. He's kind of a little bit more potentially relevant this year. So I have Pitts having 2 touchdowns this week against the Dolphins, who are just in shambles.
I would be in shambles too if Kyle Pitts did that to me.
Right.
But you went tight end. I'm also going tight end. We have a mid-show change here. I have switched my pick. I was gonna go Tyrod Taylor hating because of a Justin Fields stan, as they say. But I'll pause that for right now. I'll pause the Tyrod Taylor hate watch, and my pick will be a Steelers hate watch. Tucker Kraft, 150 yards, 2 touchdowns. Take it to the bank.
Yeah, let's hope that doesn't happen.